EMCOMM going 10.8. Well, this is part 2 of the USMC ILBE, and we're testing that out. Yeah, I hiked up 3 miles to get up here, and the ILBE pack is not really working for me too well, and I'll explain later in full detail when I get back to the garage and break it out and give you a final analysis, I guess. And okay, disclaimer, I am not a gear reviewer. Nobody sends me gear to review. This is pretty much for my own satisfaction, not for YouTube, but since I'm going through the process, I would like to take you guys along with me, and maybe you could decide whether this thing is good for you or not. So far, day 1, 3 miles in, going uphill, maybe 1,000 feet change in elevation from point A to point B. It was weird. Comfortable though, I will say that it was comfortable. Better than the Alice packs. So that was the real first test, fully loaded, around 52 pounds. One thing that was kind of strange and weird and disturbing is I had it cinched around my waist on the top of my iliac crest here, where it's supposed to be, where the load should rest on. And after about maybe a mile, going a steady incline, I was getting cramps on my legs. I mean, I was huffing and puffing, that's always, but I was getting cramps on my legs. So for a little bit, I undid the belt, and the cramps went away after a while. I did it again, hiked a little bit more, and the cramps came back. So my saving grace for this pack is that it's so much more comfortable than the Alice pack that I was able to do the remainder of the distance just with the shoulder straps. So all the weight was on my shoulders, but I didn't get the pain on my traps like you would if you were using a Alice pack. So that's one good thing about this. For some reason, that's not working out for me. And also, my rib cage is right here, and it always pinches up against the top part of this padding here, and after a while it was irritating and sometimes painful, so especially if I bend over or whatever. So that's a nuisance for me. This thing is just too thick for me. The top of my iliac bone is right here, and this is the top of my rib cage. I got this much space for this thing here to kind of rest on. For some reason, it's irritating the crap out of me. What I don't like about this too is I can't get to my firearm if I need to. This is outside the waist holster. I can't get to it because of the belt. I'm not going to do the chest harness or the pack harness or anything like that. I still want to be concealed even in the woods. So on my return trip, I adjusted the pack to fit a little bit more better. I thought I had it dialed in, but I guess I didn't. And 3 miles of hiking kind of told me that. So okay, let's go bug home. Hate to leave this area, but gotta go make a living. A little bit of moleskin. I was getting a blister there, or starting to. So back to the pack it goes. The last wretched steps of this godforsaken journey. 16.77 miles. My first day back from the hike, and not bad for a 45-year-old. Granted, I'm not in my fighting form as I was in my 20s, but trying to keep up. I just got to work a little bit harder. Final decision on the ILBE. Now, this is subjected for me personally. I mean, I'm doing this for me, not for you guys. But you know, like I said, I like to take you guys with me to you know, show you what I'm going through here. So the final outcome, this is not good for me for long haul trips. I'm talking about 10 miles plus. I think it's good for 3-milers or 4-milers for me, but I'm not willing to haul the extra weight, the extra 5 pounds of pack that will bug me in the back of my brain, saying, why am I hauling this? I could haul 5 pounds worth of food rather than 5 pounds worth of material. Now that's just me personally. Like I said, I'm not in my fighting form as I was as a sergeant back in the day, but so I have to fight a little bit smarter. I mean, I'm from a generation or the attitude of, you know, suck it up, you know, hit the trail, or back in my day, this is how we did it. I can't do that no more. I realize that. So I have to kind of like open up my surroundings here and take a look at all this new stuff that's out in the market now. The old surplus stuff is, you know, they're good and everything, they're bulletproof, but sometimes they're not practical for civilians, and I just got to get that through my thick skull that, hey, you're a civilian now and you have been for quite a while. The old surplus stuff just ain't cutting it for, you know, performance for regular civilians like myself now. So I leave this to the 20-year-olds out there, and you guys could hump this all you want, but me, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go a little bit smarter when it comes to packing now, and I'm leaning a lot towards the ultralighters and the bushcrafters. Between those two disciplines, I think that would take me a hell of a lot farther, faster, and smarter than the old milsurp stuff that's out there in the market. I got to give it to this thing. It is bulletproof, and it was leagues better than the Alice Pack system. If I used the Alice Pack, my traps would have been raging of soreness and stuff, just digging into my traps on the shoulder straps here. This here, like I said before, the hip belt, when I cinched it down, gave me cramps as I climbed uphill. So I had to sort of loosen everything up to where I have even distribution between the shoulder straps and the hip belt. But when I was going uphill, I had to rely solely on the shoulder straps. The cramps in my legs, it didn't matter. It happened all the time, no matter how much I adjusted the settings here on the back plate there. So that alone, pretty much, not that alone, but that along with the extra weight, pack weight that I don't want to haul, this thing is a bust for me. Now that's for me, guys. For you guys out there in YouTube land, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just a guy in a garage, if you know what I mean. Okay guys, here's some final statistics. My body weight starting was 169 pounds. The pack weight starting was 52 pounds. Coming back 16 miles, and when I was hiking back 16 miles, it was straight. I mean, no breaks, no nothing in between, as like an overnight or nothing like that. Coming back, the weight of the pack was 47 pounds, so I did drop it by 5 points. That's by eating the MREs and using some consumables like fuel, but not that much. Mainly it was MREs, and I had 2 breakdown servings of that. So like I said, 2.75 miles going uphill to the camp, then 16.77 miles humping back home. Total time for the trip was 7 hours and 12 minutes. Moving time, when I was actually moving, was 5 hours and 58 minutes, almost 6 hours. Average rate is 2.3 miles per hour. I packed 3 liters of water in the hydration pack, and I drank 2.2 liters of that. That's right there. The temperature is pretty moderate here, so I wasn't sweating like a pig if it was summer. So that contributed to that, but I think I needed to drink at least a liter more because I was just a little bit dehydrated when I came back. Total calories consumed with my homemade per day meal packages were 4,970 calories consumed. for the 2 days total, and I had one mountain house left over from the trip out of all that food that I brought with me. So that's an extra, let's say 600 calories for that whole mountain house left over. So the weight coming back when I weighed myself after I stumbled into the garage was 169 pounds. I did not lose weight whatsoever. So that kind of tells me that looks like 2,500 calories is my maintaining weight for this level of activity for me. So this has not been just a trial or testing out this USMC ILBE e-pack, but it's pretty much testing my whole system, from food, all the calories I brought with me, my endurance level, what my body could consume as far as calories coming in and calories expended. I was testing out these boots here. These are firefighting boots from Cosmas, but they're styled like hiking boots. They gave me a little bit of blisters, and I took care of that. As I said, testing out the comfort of this pack here, hauling long distances, and like as you've seen, it's not working for me. And also the contents that's within the bag as far as cold weather gear, sleep systems, shelter systems, and you name it. So this was the total package, and I think that's it for this. So bottom line, USMC ILBE is a bust for me personally. Gorilla Comm going 10-10.